All right, show of hands. Who's afraid to talk to air traffic control? Raise your hand. Anybody? Afraid you're going to get yelled at if you ask them to say something again, to repeat it? Or you're just not entirely sure how to phrase something at this particular point in the flight? If you do, if you are afraid of that, you're really not alone. There's a great many pilots, especially brand new student pilots, because it's all new to them, but even licensed pilots that typically don't deal with air traffic control. They tend to stay away from the tower at airports. When they are forced to have to talk to them, they get pretty apprehensive and a little gun shy about talking on the mic. In this video and a sibling video that I'm going to put the comments to, or the link to down in the comments section, we're going to address kind of some typical phrases at a towered airport. In the sibling video, we're going to call ground, and then tower, and then if it's a Class C airport, call departure, and reverse that coming back in. And we'll look at the typical things that we say and that they would say back to us. In this video, we're going to fixate on one very specific exchange. When we're holding short of the runway, getting ready to call tower, let them know we're ready to take off, and what they're going to say back to us. You might think, well, why the heck do we need a whole video for that? That's pretty easy, right? Hey, I'm ready to take off. Let me go. But what I want to show is that ATC communications is very predictable, kind of like flying your airplane. You can really expect at certain points in your flight to say a handful of things to ATC, and you can expect a handful of responses back from them. Anything else is a wild curveball depending on the particular situation that you're in. So let's take a look at holding short of a runway, getting ready to take off, and call the tower and see what happens. So for our scenario here, we are going to be holding short of runway 36 on taxiway Charlie, and we're going to want to take off and actually depart the area down to the south. So that's our scenario of wanting to call the tower. And you'll see this in the other video as well. Really, anytime you're going to call ATC, it's 4 W's. Who you are talking to, who you are, where you are, and what do you want? Okay? So when we call tower, we can expect typically one of 5 possible responses. I really want one, but I could get up to 5 pretty standard responses. Anything else is going to be a wild curveball, as I like to put it. So we're going to call tower. It'll be the town name. I don't know where you're training at. Owensboro Tower, Springfield Tower, Greater Los Angeles International Tower, whatever it is. So tower, let's say it's just Cessna 12345, where you are. We're holding short of 36 at Charlie. And what do you want? We're ready to take off. Okay. Owensboro Tower, Skyhawk 12345, holding short of 36 on Charlie, ready to take off. Or ready for departure, ready to go, whatever works for you. All right? So 5 possible responses back. They will respond back with Cessna 12345. So I'm not going to write that down. We're going to get that on every single one of them. What I really want to hear is cleared for takeoff. All right. So let's assume that's what I want. I want to be cleared for takeoff, and I want to be told I can proceed on course to the south. That's how they would say that. So it would be, you are cleared for takeoff. I'm just going to write it that way. Proceed on course. Hopefully you can see that. They might tell you a left turn on course. They might tell you a right turn on course, because in this scenario I got a 180-degree turn. If they don't say anything, then it's kind of up to you. And then you would read that back to them. Clear for takeoff on runway 36, Cessna 12345. And off you go. They might respond back with cleared for takeoff, fly, runway, heading. So there, clear for takeoff on 36, fly runway heading, Cessna 12345. Get on the runway, power up, take off, rotate, and just take up a heading, in this case, of runway 360. Well, I want to go on course. I don't want to go to the north. I want to go to the south. Really, the only reason they're not going to allow you to proceed directly on course is there's some other traffic out there somewhere. They're trying to just sequence all the airplanes around. And they really want you to fly in the runway heading. Usually when we take off, we'll crab into the wind a bit and track the runway. Here, they really just want you flying 360, knowing that you'll drift right or left depending on which way the wind is blowing. That's fine. That's what they want. And then at some point, they will clear you on course. All right, so that's 2. Next, cleared for takeoff. Turn the heading. It could be anything. I'm going to say 270. So they want you flying off towards the west. Again, why? Traffic. That way I don't have to get too far away. They just want me flying off this direction. Maybe they'd say 220, maybe 300, maybe turn right to 030. Just depends on the traffic flow. But they will give you some sort of intermediate heading, and then eventually they will clear you on course. So there's 3. 4, hold short of runway 36. And you need to read that back very explicitly. Cessna 12345 will hold short of runway 36. If you just respond back with holding short of 36, the tower will probably ask you to say your full call sign. They need it recorded so that there's no doubt in their mind. So what do? You stay right there. Do not cross that hold short line. There might be landing traffic, maybe the traffic that hasn't landed yet, maybe the traffic that has just landed, and you call them up before they have a chance to get off the runway, whatever the scenario is. So there's 4. 5th one, and this one is pretty rare. Line up and wait. Line up and wait. What the heck is that? Well, it used to be up until, I honestly forget, a year or 2 ago, they would call that position and hold. That's how they would phrase it. What they really want you to do is you can cross the whole short line and you can taxi up here onto the runway, but then you stop. So maybe that traffic has landed and is going to take a little bit to get off, and they're going to let you at least get on the runway, hold there, so that when this one is clear the runway, they can clear you for takeoff and then give you one of these 3 things and allow you to go. Kind of help expedite matters. Line up and wait is more of an international standard way to phrase that, so the FAA decided to jump on the bandwagon and do that. I honestly cannot remember the last time I was ever given something like that. Perhaps at really busy airports you'll get it, but at the sleepier Class D and C airports that I typically fly out of, usually I'm going to get one of these 4 items right here. So there you go, your 4 W's, how to initiate the conversation, and you can expect one of these 5 responses back from tower. And once you get it, just read it back, use your full call sign, just in case there's another taxiway here with a Cessna holding short. Maybe this is Delta. So if they clear you for takeoff and this guy responds, he just says, clear for takeoff. Well, you heard it, so you don't even respond, so you get ready to go. He gets ready to go. But if he would respond back with, clear for takeoff on 36 at Delta, but the tower was talking to me, and no, I didn't mean Delta. I meant this airplane down here on Charlie. He can jump on the radio and hopefully fix the situation before it becomes a situation. All right. So in the sibling video, we're going to expand a lot. I won't go into this detail, but we're going to cover calling ground, calling tower, calling departure, and then reversing that coming back in. And just show the predictability of when you're talking to ATC, it's like a dance. You're going to do the same moves over and over and over again. It's very predictable. And if you ever get an instruction that you're just not sure what it is, if you simply didn't hear it, say again for Cessna 12345, and they'll repeat it. But if it's something that you didn't really comprehend, like what the heck were they talking about? If you just say again, they'll just repeat it again. That doesn't help. You're going to have to communicate to them, hey, I don't understand what you meant. Can you say that a different way? They would much rather hear that, explain it a different way, than have you go somewhere that you were not supposed to go. That probably creates a lot of paperwork. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed that video, and take a look at the other one. If you got any questions, comments, or smart remarks on either one, let me know. Thanks for watching.